Hello all, good evening and welcome to the weekly products training for SMIB. You know this month is an extraordinary exciting month, I should say, because GIC was an incredible event. We were inspired by all the leaders who present on stage. Their story is amazing and they have been go through many challenges but never give up. What actually helped them? Feel great was the strategy that helped them achieve their dreams. One of the speakers, Mr. Ruff, struggled for many years with nothing. However, with Feel Great program, him from zero to fully qualified double diamonds only in 1 year plus. And I heard that July month, he even achieved triple diamonds volume. How amazing is that? Want to know more? Claudia will share what we have learned from the scientists on Feel Great during GRIC and what products to go along with this program. I'm sure you are excited. Success is here and now. Over to you, Claudia.
All right, good evening, everyone. Well, it's great to be here. And I'm sure all of you, right after GRIC, you're really feeling the fire, right? The excitement and hearing such inspiring stories like what CK say. And today we're going to be unlocking what is the secret, okay, the strategy that can enable a person who have been through 5 years or even more than that of drought to become one of the top leaders today. Okay, I'm sure with today's talk, if you learn it well, you can bring this success into your own life, in your health, and about you achieving your dreams. Okay, so give me a moment as I share my screen. Okay, so today's talk will be a little bit informational, so I hope you can follow along with me. Okay, so this is a short disclaimer before we start. Okay, so if a person were to come to you and ask you, what is this Feel Great? What on earth is this thing? And how can you explain to them in the most simple yet accurate way? Well, it is simply this, which is 1 practice and 2 products. That's it, okay? And as you learn with me today, you will understand that this tagline summarizes the entirety of this program. Okay, so let's go into the first aspect, which is the 1 practice. So what is this practice are we talking about? Right? So, well, fasting has been a practice that has been around for a long time. But, doesn't mean that many people are happy with it because, it means that you have to restrict yourself, you have to eat lesser, and they may, associate it as like a religious practice, right? But on top of all this reasoning, there is a good reason why fasting is beneficial, right? There are a lot of benefits actually when it comes to fasting. So one of the things, the most apparent benefit that you will experience as soon as you do it and you do it correctly is your metabolic health. Okay, for those who have attempted this, I'm sure you can also testify the same. All right, in as soon as 60 days, you can already see a difference in your blood lipid profile, in your sugar level, in your cholesterol level, all right, and your insulin will also be able to be back to its natural sensitive state. All right, so you can see this very fast. And naturally, when this is well controlled, your weight, okay, and your body composition will also be more desirable. All right, so everybody can benefit from this. It doesn't matter how old you are, are you trying to, be with someone, or you can be of an older age. Everybody benefits from this. Okay, I'm sure many of you on this call are aware of this, so I won't be going too detailed into this. But there's another aspect that I really want to share with you that I find it to be rather fascinating. Okay, so this might be a bit unusual, but well, let's learn together. Okay, so in our bodies, there are always waste products. Okay, they are always circulating around. So recently, scientists find that our body has this natural response, okay, in which our cells will be able to, in a sense, eat, okay, or consume these waste products. All right, so before you feel that this is something very strange, okay, let me elaborate further. This is a very interesting phenomenon because as you can see here, so these are all the waste products, right? So when it enters the cell, okay, when the cell consumes it, it slowly disintegrates, okay? And from here, it diffuses itself and then it becomes a waste product, okay? And you'll be excreted, okay? So from here, we can see that waste products are gradually destroyed and removed in this process. Now, we have learned this through Clear Start 30, as we have learned the importance of cleansing, right? So there's more towards the aspect of digestion, okay, more towards that on food itself. But this is revolutionary because it's something that scientists have found to happen in every single cell of our body, okay, at the cellular level. All right, so what does this unfold? So this is actually what they call a natural detoxification process. That for those who are familiar with fasting, I'm sure you have heard this thing, right? About how your cells detoxify. Well, last time I think that this is just something that people say, but I don't really believe it. Until I go into the research and after GEL, I see, when I do more research into this fasting, and true enough, okay, clinical papers do say that once we fast to a certain number of hours, our body will then activate this, will elevate this whole detoxification process, all right, in which they remove damaged, toxic, and harmful components from the cell. So what does that mean to us? Okay, so all right, you can detox. So what? So apparently this detoxification process is very important when it comes to our brain. Okay, because our brain is one of the most active organ in the body and is on high volume. So there will be toxic proteins excreted all the time. And this is one of the reasons why people have Parkinson's and Alzheimer's disease is because of an overactive mind, right? So you find that the removal of all these toxic process can actually reduce the risk of a person getting all these terminal illnesses. And obviously, when you can remove all these harmful substances away from your cell, you can also protect your genes, right? Definitely, okay? It protects your gene and it can also improve our lifespan and protection against disease. So this also activates regeneration and maintenance of healthy cell, which then proves to be very useful in the area of anti-aging, immune function, especially, okay, with they get rid of bacteria, viruses, and things like that, skin health, brain, and nerve tissue. Okay, so whenever I talk about fasting nowadays, this is a really popular concept that many scientists are now talking about. Okay, so there is a specific hour in which we have to achieve in order for us to unlock all these amazing benefits. Okay, so how to fast? It's simply like this. Okay, we need to have a 16-hour fasting window and there will be an 8-hour eating window. So in these 16 hours, it's very simple. The only thing you need to do is fast. Okay, so when you fast 16 hours, you will activate all those benefits that I mentioned to you just now. Okay, this process is then activated because it has to be 16 hours. The only condition is don't eat any food or high calorie drink. Okay, because once you break the fast, then we will not be able to activate this process. So this is pretty straightforward. Okay, now this comes the interesting part. Okay, this is the part where I get the most questions because there seems to be quite a bit of a gray area here. All right. So many people ask me, hey, is it true that I can eat anything in these 8 hours and I don't have to restrict myself? Well, actually, to a certain degree, it is true, okay? You may consume food or beverages within this time frame, okay? And there are no strict restrictions on calorie or timing. So are you happy hearing this? Okay, I'm sure inside you are like, yes, okay, finally, okay, I don't have to restrict myself so much and to keep counting calories and things like that. Okay, the main focus here, we'll be having 2 main meals. You need to have 2 good quality meals that can keep you full, and you may snack if is needed. Okay, if needed, yeah, right? Don't go too overboard with this. Well, but this is a good allowance already. Okay, so maybe at the back of your mind, you think, it's too good to be true, right? Really? Are you sure? So there is some science actually to bring about this concept. Okay, because during a 16-hour fast, your body accesses more of the energy stored in the fat tissue. Okay, for those who have been with us for a while, you will know that 12 hours is the minimum hours you need in order for our body to get into the fat burning zone. So that's where your body will start to produce ketone bodies and things like that. So 16 hours is already a prolong of a 4-hour fast. So that would accelerate the process a lot faster. So naturally, your body will be more flexible and you can use fat for fuel a lot more efficiently. Okay, and a longer fast allows your body to rest. Okay, and your insulin sensitivity will also naturally improve with 16-8. Okay, and the effect of the 16-hour fasting is able to cushion the impact of eating during 8 hours. So the 16 hours is the one thing that really will save you, okay, to make allowance for your 8-hour eating window. Okay, and this is the one thing that we have to note here, all right, that it supports people that will naturally eat 500 lesser calories per day when they have a shortened eating window. Okay, so this 8 hours is supposedly there to naturally help you eat lesser. So this is how this 16-8 works. Now, so of course, this is the million-dollar question, right? This means I can eat all I want as long as it's in this 8-hour window. I can, after lunch, I can drink bubble tea, then I can eat cake, I can eat chips, and then don't have to care, right? As long as it's 8 hours. Well, we have to still bear in mind that it states here naturally eat 500 fewer calories per day. So we cannot say that there's totally no correlation with calories at all. It may not be as sensitive compared to like 4-4-12 or other fasting methods, but there's still some allowance, but there is still a certain degree of influence into how successful we will be in this 16-8. So to keep this accurate, we need to have a guiding principle. And how do we tell others about how to go about this? So rather than telling people eat all that you can, which can potentially be misleading, we should tell them you can eat as your body needs to feel. All right? So I shall put this into 3 different categories. So you find yourself in which, and then you go along with that category. So if you're on the general health maintenance, okay, and you want to figure out how to get into this, okay, provided the fact that you just want to achieve the optimal health benefit in the area of anti-aging and reduction of disease risk, and you already have a desirable body composition, and provided that your blood lipid profile and your sugar levels is all fine, that you don't have all those problems, then you can just eat like how you normally would. You don't have to particularly restrict on anything. So if you do eat lunch for noodles for lunch, for example, you can still follow on with that, okay? And you can snack if you need. If you're hungry and if you feel uncomfortable, you can eat a snack if you need to. Just make sure you abide to the 16-8. Okay, so there's a lot of leeway and it's considered quite a flexible eating pattern for those who are in this category. So for those who are pre-diabetic and you have elevated cholesterol, so there's a bit of a requirement that you may have to follow through here. Okay, that's because your body's ability to reduce sugar, blood pressure, and cholesterol is no longer as efficient. All right, there's already some existing problem that you can't balance it as naturally as you should. For example, if you're a certain age, or it could be hormonal issue, menopausal issue, okay, that you have a very persistent problem in the area of triglyceride and things like that, then you have to be a bit more aware on the type of food that you eat, okay? Because 16-8 doesn't change the fact that teh tarik is still high in sugar, right? So all these things as you eat will still haywire, so you can still take, not to say that you completely don't take, just make sure your frequency cannot be as much as a normal person. And if you are into weight loss, okay, if you're going to this wanting to look better, then, okay, if you put into consideration the type of food, consuming less calories, definitely you have added advantage. Okay, you will have faster results and you'll lose weight faster. Okay, I think this is common sense, yeah? And you have to be more mindful in healthy eating, okay? Because all those things they do take into consideration. Okay, food portion, and you may have to go for cleaner food preparation. Okay, that doesn't mean that you cannot eat, okay, normal food, but your frequency have to be a lot lesser. And you can snack if you need. So I think this is very important because in the past, we can't do this at all. I remember you have to be very strict, only have after every 4 hours, but you can do this once or twice. It's fine if you need to. Okay, so 16/8 is great, no doubt about that, but there are challenges. Okay, because first of all, 16 hours is a long period of fasting. And some people, in fact, most people who go into it, they'll naturally feel very hungry. After 12 hours, it gets a bit hard already. At the 14-hour, you feel very tempted to break your fast already. Okay, you very jittery, right? So end up, you give in and you break the fast way too early. Okay, and then as a result, your body overcompensate. I'm not used to this. So you start to trigger. Once you break the fast, you eat excessively. So this is the reason why some people don't see effect. Okay, they will say that, oh, why I'm into this and then I tried, but nothing works, and I don't see any effects. And some people would also experience tiredness, irritability, and brain fog. Okay, so these are things that can potentially happen, and we want to go into 16/8 seamlessly. Okay, you don't want to worry about all this kind of thing. And you want to maximize the health benefit of 16/8. So this is where Feel Great comes in. We will be going to the 2 products. Okay, so the first is Yerba Mate. All right, so Yerba Mate is important because of this component known as chlorogenic acid that's able to maximize the 16-hour fast. It's able to accelerate fat burning and help to also increase the production of ketone bodies. So this is very important for us to utilize fat for fuel. Right, number one, this is very important. And secondly, because your 16-hour fast is a lot more efficient with Yerba Mate, this gives you more allowance in the 8-hour eating window. So here, even if you were to take like a bubble tea or your cake or whatever, but your body can revert back, okay, during that 16-hour, it's able to recover faster compared to if you don't take it. All right, you have better flexibility in that sense. And also, it supports an ease into it. It manages our urge to overeat. Okay, many people want to eat Yerba Mate, and the correct way to drink it is to drink it in 15 minutes. Finish it, you'll feel like you're refreshed, mentally alert, you can do your tasks, and you won't think about eating. Okay, so this is what really helps people to go into this 16-hour fast. Okay, so of course, fasting is one thing, but this is a fact, right? We still want to enjoy food with a peace of mind. Come on. Occasionally, we want to eat this, right? And if you are in a cafeteria with somebody, you can't be saying, oh, I'm not going to eat this. Then you see your friends eating. No, right? Okay. We still want to enjoy life. And, if we are stripped of the pleasure of eating, this is when people get very frustrated. Okay. They get very frustrated. And even though it's, people say it works, but this is one of the major reasons, okay, that diet plans fail. When we are stripped of the pleasure of eating, even though this sounds emotional, but I can tell you, this is also the very reason why people cannot follow through with a diet plan. So in order to curb this thing, we need to have a form of insurance that can reduce the impact of high fat and sugar foods that we can't avoid sometimes. So this is where our BIOS Life comes into the picture. So depending on your need, they actually work to filter off excess carbohydrate and cholesterol from food sources. Okay, so this is the first layer of protection. And secondly, internally, it also helps you to metabolize the carbs. Okay, it helps to be digested faster and then removed. And cholesterol also, okay, there's a very in-depth mechanism, which I'm not going to go into it today, but it can help us to better reduce cholesterol. balances the insulin level after eating a meal, all right? So we don't have that crazy post-meal spike. And fiber also boosts the positive effect of fasting. Okay, our microbiome also plays a very important role. So depending what is your health concern, okay, if you have a persistent cholesterol problem and you want to go into this, then we have BioSlife C+, okay, that we have this biocardial matrix that's targeted to reduce cholesterol levels. And if your concern is more towards insulin, sugar level, and controlling your weight, then BioSlife S is the perfect thing for you. All right, so we have learned a lot today. So how do we put everything together into this 16-hour method? So 16-hour, of course, no food or drinks, except very low-calorie beverages, which is Yerba Mate. Okay, you can take this here in this time. And if you have a medical condition, you have to be a bit more cautious. So you may not be able to hit 16 hours, may have to compromise a little bit, but your health is more important. So you start with just 12, then you adjust accordingly. And the 8-hour eating window, to summarize everything, you can eat like normal, okay? Make sure you take your BioSlife S or C+ before eating meals. Okay, but bear in mind, there is a limit to your 16-hour fast. Okay, your 16-hour fast is not like a miracle pill, you know. Wow, you can eat like nobody's business and you can be eating all the processed food as you like. Okay, you know, if you keep doing that, your 16-hour won't save you also. All right, so of course you can still take, but be sure to compensate with a healthy meal in the end. Okay, and that doesn't negate the fact that processed food is still harmful. Okay, it's still, you know, lack of nutrition is not good for you. Okay, and healthy eating, balanced diet, and lots of vegetables will still always be a priority to be encouraged for just better health in general. Okay, so Feel Great is summarized in such a way. A simple system, but incredible results. All right, and we have seen this in gel, I see. Okay, some people, they have, wow, you know, the way they change before and after with this practice alone and how it helped in their health tremendously. Okay, why? Because it's practical and easy to follow. Many people can adapt to it. It's something that a layman can do it anytime. And it's the flexibility that makes it very attractive. Okay, very minimal restrictions. This is one of the easiest way already. Okay, compared to the many different type of ways to eat, this is one of the most flexible way of eating. Okay, and the most important thing is sustainability, that you don't feel like it strips you of the pleasure of eating, does not deprive you, and you don't feel like you are suffering, okay? And the best thing is this, only one practice and 2 products, okay? So this is all about Feel Great. Okay, so no doubt it is effective, but sometimes it can be too effective. All right. So for some people who really go into this 16-8, there may be some drawback. Okay, some people may lose too much. Okay, as a result of this 16-8. So it's great, no doubt, but you have to also bear in mind that some side effects can happen, especially men, because their metabolism is generally faster. So once you lose weight, you will also not just only lose fat, but you can also lose muscle mass. So some people in this process can also end up looking haggard, all right, and they have also malnutrition issues because you eat a lot lesser compared to a normal eating pattern. Okay, so I have another 3 different ways in which you can approach this Feel Great. So if you are gonna try this as a beginner, all right, you never tried anything before and Feel Great is the one that you're very interested, okay, then you can just go with the Feel Great pack. Okay, for those who desire to have a better lifestyle, who have not tried anything before, they want to have an elevated quality of life, then this is the most basic way to go. Okay, but if you want to be an all-rounder, okay, or you are an all-rounder yourself, okay, that you desire to have all-rounder support, okay, to have well-nourished, prevent deficiency and to curb side effect, then I would highly recommend this group of people to incorporate some essentials as well. Right, so like what we have learned just now, those are potential side effects of 16-8. So you cannot just survive with just 2 products alone only, because there's just fiber and you need Yerba Mate. So it's not enough for you to be nourished as an individual. Okay, so malnutrition can still happen. So I would highly recommend, if you are in this category, you have to incorporate at least 1 protein. Okay, particularly for men. Okay, so if you can, go for quad flax. If not, LC vanilla or chocolate is fine. And you can take this as a snack or during when you break your fast. Okay, multivitamin also. Okay, come on, we still need our vitamin Bs and all that kind of thing, right? So DP24 is from fruits and vegetables or chlorospirina, either one. And fish oil, we need this. Okay, everybody needs it, because almost every part of your body requires omega-3, your heart, your joints, your eyes, so many. All right, and immunity, of course, especially we live in this era where outbreaks is all around us. We have to take extra precaution in this. So the reason why I chose probiotic and probiotic plus, because the good bacteria and together with digestion, both of them can give a much better effect compared to just taking pure vitamin C alone. All right, so if you can also end up with Enzygen B plus to further boost the effect of the supplements. All right, so these are just a very brief one. I only use the most basic only, okay? I didn't put other things. These are just the essentials. Okay, and we have the final level, which is the specialized level. Okay, there are individuals who wants to achieve a higher level of health and well-being. Okay, that they want to go a level higher. They want to achieve a much more optimal state of health. So they will go beyond the all-rounder level. Okay, and they want to zoom into more targeted health goal. So for example, they are very into anti-aging. Okay, and they're very into delaying the aging process, increasing lifespan. Then they can add up on top of that. Okay, so endurance, oasis, and collagen, these are additional things that you can add on. So I'll talk this in detail next month. So and if, for example, you want to boost your physical energy, you do workouts a lot, then Bio's Life E is that additional thing that you can add. So there really isn't a limit to how much or to what degree of specialization you want to achieve, but that's really depending on your individual needs, and you can go accordingly. Okay, so that is a summary of that 3 categories. So, well, I've come to the end of today's presentation, and we have learned a lot, okay, how 16.8 works exactly, and how we incorporated the products, and how we can further elevate with supplements. Okay, so I'm sure after this, okay, there'll be some questions also, right? And I think this is the best time to ask, since we're in this topic, and this is a very important strategy. So, okay, there isn't a too simple question to ask, right? I'm happy to answer anything that you still feel that is not being answered, okay? So now it's open to Q&A. And yep, feel free. Okay, let me drink water first. Okay, all right, we have the first question already. Can a 14-year-old take Yerba Mate and follow 16.8? I need to know why, because 14-year-old, the person is still growing, okay? It's considered a teenager. So there are many areas of their body still developing, okay? Like for women, for example, girls, teenager, they're still developing different part of their body and growth spurt and things like that. And 16.8, actually, the person eat a lot lesser compared to a normal teenager, and they need the energy. So I won't recommend a 14-year-old because of this reason. But if this 14-year-old struggle with some weight issues and things like that requires medical attention, then of course there's a separate topic. So this one have to obviously bring it up to the doctor and have them to recommend and that we go from there lah. Yeah. What is this? Okay, 4-4-12 is better or 16-8? 4-4-12 I think is a lot more strict in a sense that yeah, it's a lot more strict. It's good, it's effective, but in order to stick with it long term, it can be a challenge. So result is fast, but the long term thing is a question. So 16-8 also 16-8 is effective. Yeah, and it's also something that people can do for longer term. So I think for long term, I think 16-8 is the thing that it's better than 4-4-12. Okay, for all-rounders, if they drink LC vanilla with Yerba Mate and Balsaf in the morning, how to time the 16-8? If they drink... Oh, okay. So they want to mix both, is it? This is actually quite a good question. All right, so they want to break their fast in the morning. So if they want to drink, I think if the person can tolerate caffeine, they can actually mix E and Yerba Mate together. Then they can drink vanilla separately. Okay, they can drink it as long as they break their fast. Yerba Mate not necessarily have to drink breakfast one, You can actually take like the 16-hour eating window. You can just drink that first. So that's out of the way already. So once you break your fast, for example, like close to lunch, you can drink your protein and your E together. You can mix it together and drink that way. So E and vanilla, I would recommend you to eat during 8 hours. Yerba Mate, you can actually space out. Like in the morning, you can take that, no problem. All right. Okay, do we need to do clear start, then only feel great, or can straight go into feel great? I recommend you to do clear start first. Okay, don't do clear start and feel great together, because clear start itself, yeah, number one, is a very intensive thing already for your body. And then feel great is long hour fasting. So if you put both together, I'm just afraid that it can be a bit too strong for the body. So I'll recommend to do clear start first. After that, then you go into feel great. Yeah, do it separately. Can breastfeeding mom take Yerba Mate for the feel great system? I really wish I can give you a direct answer, Okay, Yerba Mate cannot be taken for breastfeeding. Okay, because from what I have known from the scientists, because there is, potentially some caffeine inside. So, caffeine in area of breastfeeding is still a bit of a controversial issue. Of course, the Balsaf S is negligible, but the Yerba Mate is the only thing that is a bit of a concern here. Yeah, that's for me. Okay, would Yerba Mate fuel instead of Yerba Mate works as well? So Yerba Mate fuel, I wouldn't recommend it because there is the calories there. So of course, if you do the ketogenic way, like how we do last time with LC base, that's a different story. So this is a very different concept. It's 16 hours, preferably with low calorie. So because of the MCT there, it may break the fast. So I would say that Yerba Mate will still be better. But if the person really cannot tolerate the taste, then of course Yerba Mate fuel would be the one to take lah. Yeah. Okay, can a person who has high sugar level use this formula? Yeah, can. So a person has high sugar level. If the person's on medication, then you have to be extra careful. Then you have to talk to the doctor to prevent things like hypoglycemia. Okay, if they are on fasting and then they're on medication. So if that's the case, then you have to talk to your doctor. So to see how they can adjust it for you, either they adjust the medication or your lifestyle. So no direct answer, but with a discussion with a doctor, this can further be confirmed. Okay. Take it and rejuvenate before sleep will break fasting. This is a good question actually. I have to double check because rejuvenate, I don't know if there's any content inside. I have to double check in terms of the that capacity to get back to you on that. But if you want to stay on the safe side, you try to drink it within the hour of your dinner, so you don't have to worry so much about breaking the fast. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Can Bars 7 be used instead of Bars Life S and Bars Life C? Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can actually, yes. And 7 is also for those who are, really up there to boost into the microbiome support, then they can use Bars 7. Yeah, no problem. Yes, you can. I answered. Why feel great no include Bars 7? Because first of all, we want to make it as simple as possible. Okay, you want to make this to be as simple and to be as differentiation, to differentiate as much as possible. So a layman don't have so many choices to choose, just A or B. That's the main reason why, okay, cholesterol or sugar. But if a person also want, and they want to go beyond than just C or slim, then you can, yeah, definitely you can, on your own, you can recommend Bar 7, it's not a problem, yeah. What is the recommended period to be on 16-8? That isn't a fixed, really isn't a fixed thing, but of course your dinner don't be too late, the earlier the better. So recommended dinner latest 7 or latest dinner 7, but if 6 you can eat your dinner is great, then you can 6 hours, then 14, from there you count, then you can also have, you can break your fast earlier also. So I recommend to have your last meal at 6 if that's possible, yeah. Okay, for skinny person, is it advisable? Go with feel great such practice? Yes, you can. So because you are a skinny person, so very good for you. You have more allowance during the 8 hours. Okay, you can eat more. You don't have to care about portion size. Okay, you can just eat like normally, and you can even add snacks if you need to. Okay, because you want to make sure that your 8 hours you eat enough, so that 16 hours it will not deprive you. And of course, you must take protein because you're already skinny person. So make sure you eat your protein so that you don't lose muscle mass. Okay, that's very important, that you can still be in good shape and you can enjoy the benefit of 16-8. Right? Okay, if a doctor prescribed medicine to be taken in the morning with or after breakfast, if he uses feel great system left with 2 meals per day, does no breakfast in all? Okay, any advice on how to take his medication? Okay, good question, Aaron Ong. All right, I'm sure there are people who are in this similar situation. So technically medicine, they don't interfere with your fasting, okay, because medicine, no calorie one, except for gummies, things like gummies. All right, gummy will have some calorie which will interfere fasting. So, okay, so that's out of the way. But number 2, very importantly, we have to consider 2 other aspects, which is the person's physical condition. So some condition, they really have to take breakfast on, They cannot don't eat one because it will interfere, it may interfere absorption, or it may have some side effect if it's not taken together. So what I would recommend is, because there's so many medication out there, I cannot give you like a blanket statement or one size fit all kind of statement that medication can or cannot. All right. So the best way is to still ask the doctor because they understand the patient, right? What exactly are they going through? So that, and then secondly, if the medication can be adjusted. Sometimes doctor, if you, okay, they approve, then they can change the medication for you. So then this medication you can take during lunch, you may not need to take breakfast. Or better still, sometimes the medication can still take during fasting, okay? So if that can be achieved, it's even better. So just double check and to ask, and if that can be worked out, that'd be great. Right? Okay, so if I take Buzz, Live E, Live Fiber, and chlorophyll early in the morning before my workout, did I break my 16-8? Okay, Buzz, Live E, and chlorophyll is still okay. But Live Fiber, I have to check this first. But I think best chlorophyll and Buzz, Live E, you can take both of these first. Yeah, but I check for the Live Fiber first. Get back to you, it's a great question. Okay, to enjoy the state benefits like cell regeneration, etc., is it best to fast for at least 16 hours or at least 12 hours? Does that mean the longer fasting hour, the better? Yes, actually, yes. Minimum is 16 hours. Some say 18 hours, but I think 16 hours is long enough, right? So to go for that, you need to have at least 16, yeah. Okay, what happens if someone cannot tahan just taking Yerba Mate in the morning? Is there any way to do that can avoid breaking a fast? Yerba Mate fuel, you can try that. Okay, cannot tahan just take. Then it's very hard, It's quite hard because the calorie in which is permitted is actually just 30. So anything that's more than that, you technically will break your fast to a certain degree. So it's a difficult question to answer, actually. Yeah. So I would say if you really need to, then you can try Yerba Mate fuel. And I think Live Fiber is okay also. Yeah, I think the calories is not more than 30. So I think it should be fine also. Can a person with naturally high metabolism still do feel great? Can. Make sure you drink protein, you have enough protein, and you can eat more compared to a normal person. Okay, and you have your proteins and carbs and things like that in your in your diet. So I think if you have all that thing consideration, it's not a problem. All right. Okay, I would like to know if a person who is planning to get pregnant, is it recommended to start this program in terms of getting a better inner health? I think getting pregnant, no lah. Because you're planning to get pregnant, your hormone need to be in a good state, you know. So fasting is 16 hours, quite long. So I would not recommend if you are going to go on pregnancy. But post-pregnancy, if you want to lose that weight, no problem, that one you can go for it. But I won't recommend if you are going planning towards pregnancy. Yeah. Okay, as mentioned earlier, so someone with gastric problem can only fast for 12 hours. So you will not be able to do. Yeah, then that means that 16/8 may not be suitable for him. Yeah, if the person has gastric problem, then they may not be able to achieve that 16 hour, but they still benefit from 12 hours. So at least they fast for 12 hours. Okay, better than nothing. Oh, looks like I'm done. Okay, I thought I saw. Okay, all right. So I hope I've answered all of your questions. If I was not able to, if I cannot remember, I didn't really answer a question, please feel free to write me an email. All right, just in case I missed out. I'll double check the scientists few of the products, if they can be taken during fasting. All right, so it's been great. It was a very interactive session and I really enjoyed your questions. It means that you have put a lot of thought and you're thinking about how you can really face potential questions if people were to ask you. Okay, I hope this session has been beneficial and I really enjoyed interacting with all of you. So, yep. So the next session would be next month. We'll give you updates. Yeah. So stay tuned. We'll continue to go into Feel Great, for the next few months, we will be revisiting different aspects of Feel Great. So if there's any topic you want to know more or anything more about Feel Great, about fasting you want to know, please let me know so I can do my slides according to what you want to know. All right. Thank you very much, everybody. See you soon. All right. Take care. Bye-bye.